right now. Right now, need crew love right now, cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now.
One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booger bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even me that I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Got is a laser, my posse dipping, I raiding. We act a fool for the paper.
Get out of my way. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, bruising runner Leonard Fournette, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Minnesota Vikings taking on the Carolina Panthers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, we welcome all of our viewers inside a place that the folks around here like to call the Vault. And that's Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Carolina Panthers. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On first down, it's Newton. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
So pin that one on the rookie right tackle.
Remember those days when the right side was simply the run-blocking side? Now you're dealing with some of the better pass rushers in the league. It'll make you a little jittery.
Third and long. It's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A good return there, 17 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 16 carries, 106 yardage-wise, and the score as well. Now Garoppolo.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
Garoppolo. And able to find Dorsett. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. The pitch to Fournette. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Now Garoppolo throwing on second. Flush to his right. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
I know at retirement ceremonies, a rocking chair is often one of the major gifts, but don't give this guy one just yet. He may be plus 30, but my goodness, how about that effort?
Yeah, he's not that old. Hey, I'm on the wrong side of 32.
You okay? You feeling all right?
I'll be all right.
Okay, good.
I just need some chocolate and a box of tissues.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. The UCLA product, Kenny Young, had the tackle. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. Gets past him at the 10. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a first and goal right at about the 6-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dylan Cole. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown it in. Interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll start things on first down with Dion Lewis. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
From the end zone, Newton. And he can't get away. Newton can't escape the pressure, and it's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
And now out comes Minnesota. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. They go play action here on first down. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part catching the football, right? Whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs. In this case, the feet. Did a little toe tap to stay in bounds. And
it'll be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Lewis. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now Newton. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And he's got a moonwalk. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a first down throw for Newton. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick. But when you're close to that 1st round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a 1st-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had 1st-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And this one is right through. And they will jump out in front here with a very unusual scoreline of 3-2. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Steps away to his left. Forced out to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And he slings one that's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And some room to work. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Throwing now is Garoppolo. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st.
21.
They'll toss it to Fournette. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hall. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric. And they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Panthers coming out now. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about a 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
bashed it.
Super toe.
Off play action. Newton. Letting one go deep for a Newton one. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Coming off the pick 6, it's Newton. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Back to throw, Newton. He's going to float this one. And look at this. Cam Newton intercepted a 3rd time. A.J. Boye with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. And some room to roam now. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st.
Certainly making his presence felt in both the pass and the run game. He's having an impact.
Yeah, his first carry of the game right there. He had hurt him with his arm. Now he's showing that he can shuffle the puppies as well. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And before the 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete. 1:57 to go in this first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. To throw, it's Garoppolo. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the fourth down attempt and keeping the drive alive? On play action, now Garoppolo. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Hall. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. On first down, Garoppolo. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. On third down, Fournette. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
They converted once earlier in this drive, but they'll roll the dice here again on fourth down. They'll go with a big back Fournette. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. All right, let's discuss Dion Lewis as he gets set to go again. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw it on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And the ball is knocked out, and the Panthers have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit And in this case, lose the football.
No, should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Newton to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking... You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Jakeem Grant now to return. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes Jimmy Garoppolo now to lead his offense back out there. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
A big run by the big man Fournette, 44 yards. So he rips off a great run and shows you why this year he's top 10 in rushing in the league.
And looks like he's trying to move up fast on the leaderboard, doesn't he? Top 10, looks like he's running to get into the top 5.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors. But that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Newton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Ready? 180.
They fake the give. Newton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. A.J. Bouye, the fine cornerback, there to make the play defensively. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A good pickup there, a 22. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Garoppolo now. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Garoppolo. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Sheldon Rankins able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. And this Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. To throw is Garoppolo. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground with Lewis. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They try again with Lewis. Marcus Davenport there to take him down. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
To throw on 3rd down. Newton. Newton has got it. Complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And the Vikings are in for the touchdown. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the lead will swell by 1 more. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Throwing is Newton. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 36. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He was looking for a Nunwa there. Yet another interception, and I just... to double-check my math, but it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it, but the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Here's Garoppolo to throw. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. Fournette on the toss to the right. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that will extend this big lead. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Caught out left side by Robinson. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This is Lewis. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing. And we're back now in Charlotte. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Newton on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's already hit pay dirt twice. He's up over 100 yards. He is feeling good.
And he's just zipping along today. Everything coming together for him. It's that type of a day that you see a back just kind of have a grin on his face every time his number is called. Because he doesn't feel like there are going to be any lost yardage plays. Nothing but big-time positive runs.
Making the sideline grin as well. Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Escaping the pressure right. And this is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Back to the air on second. It's Garoppolo. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It was a safety, Rashad Jones, that time, who was able to break up the play. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And able to find Dorsett. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down. Now Garoppolo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a... Rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected?
He's got a man, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Much more room to operate under after the big play. Here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Newton now to throw. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. Rush coming, and he's taken down. So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he's He's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And they convert on third with a gain of 22. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Play action. Garoppolo. Flushed out right. And he's got some space here. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. It's complete to Grant. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
His throw caught at about the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
13.
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Newton. Dumps it off to Lewis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Got an open man. It's a new one. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing again is Newton. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves. But they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. On second down, here's Newton. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Here's Newton. And he's got Bennett. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, a 22.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. To the air again, Newton. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets it.
And he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late. But he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. The return man is Grant. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
A good pickup there, a 22. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Well, Garoppolo's going to throw it. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
On third and long, it's Garoppolo. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hall. 23 yards on the play.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
But right now, maybe they're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he? I
think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. This will be caught at about the 5. And unable to break away, they stop him a few yards shy. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defense